Hello, hi, this is Bhavna and you're watching India Today. Today, the person who is joining me, her journey, her filmography can only be described as something which has been a result of beautiful accidents. I'll explain why I say that. But Nithya Menen joins me only on India Today, a national award winner right now. Nithya, firstly, a huge welcome.
Thank you.
I should begin with a complaint that you don't do enough interviews.
Yeah.
But also, I've been practicing this a lot. So let me first congratulate you. Vartakal Nithya.
Oh, thank you, Vartakal. Thank you. Thank you so
for the
much.
national award. I think it was long overdue, given the kind of work and you've done so far. But I read an interview where you mentioned, and let me quote you, "It made me, the national award made you calmer. I have always taken difficult paths in my career. It always felt like I was swimming upstream. So this award means a lot more because it calmed me down and validated my choice." I kind of agree where you're coming from, because if anyone who has seen the kind of body of work you've done will agree that, you've always experimented and taken those different paths. But I always saw you as someone who was never really doing anything for an award. It just happened.
Yeah.
Yet again.
Yeah.
How do you make those choices, and how much of a validation did you seek from this national award, at least? Because national award is no small feat.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Were you even prepared that this is going to come your way?
No, I don't think I was prepared at all. I was prepared to not be validated. Like, I think I was preparing myself that it's okay, you are not going to get, the kind of validation or the kind of recognition in a certain way. Like, it's okay, that's the path you've chosen.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Get used to it. I was actually getting used to that. So, God always does that, right? When you think one thing, then another thing happens. So, I think it was what makes you take those choices is that everyone wants certain things. It depends on what you want. Yeah. And I think what I wanted was not attention or fame or whatever, or even to be an actor or whatever.
Yeah.
Those things I didn't want. So then I'm here now. So what do I want? So to be happy, to have a good experience while working, to creatively collaborate with people, to express myself creatively. These were the things I wanted. So the choices were collateral. It came automatically. Like, if it's a big budget, big hero masala film, I said no, because I have nothing to do in this. I'm not going to have fun doing this. If it was a small film and there was so much passion and everybody wanted to collaborate and all of that, then I said, oh my God, that excites. So it's always about what we want. So I chose what I want. And even with the awards and everything, I never went to award functions. It's like, not that I didn't get them I never went. So when you don't go, you don't get it. That's how.
That's true.
We all know that. Yeah. So I just wouldn't go because sometimes the work was important. Sometimes the rest or the sleep was important.
True.
So when I could, I would go. But so it was always about choosing what I wanted at that point. And that choice was always the unusual choice, what nobody would usually make somehow. Yeah. So when I get that kind of a recognition, it's like, for me, it's like a statement of saying, look, you can be yourself and you can do what you want, and you can also make your own path. You don't have to follow the path that everyone is doing.
That's absolutely correct. There's always a notion, in fact, for anyone who is not in the industry or who is trying to get there, there's always this notion that you have to be a certain way to be able to make it in the industry.
It's not true at all.
Your body of work, your filmography, or your journey, the last over 2-decade journey in the industry is a proof in itself.
Yeah, it is.
And
also my personal choices, like
absolutely.
How my body looks, how my hair looks, what I choose, what I do, what I don't do, all of that as well.
But how do you, that's why when I said in the introduction that it's been a result of beautiful accidents, it's also because no one would actually say that at first you never wanted to be the cliche heroine that we have grown up watching on screen. Every time you wanted to take a break, a film came your way which would really blow you away, and that actually set the benchmark for you in your career. I mean, I've not seen many people say that every time I wanted to take a break, a film was offered, which really changed your mind. If this is not accidents, beautiful accidents, what is?
I believe very, very strongly that it was like fate. It was very much meant to happen. And if someone doesn't believe in fate like me, I didn't, but if they had the kind of happy accidents that you're talking about, they would automatically start believing. I started believing in God after films.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Because I started to realize how things are coming. Like it's happening automatically. Successes are happening in big way, and even just the gift of the talent. I didn't go to film school. I didn't study acting. I didn't want acting only. So where does it come from, right? So it was meant to be. This was supposed to happen. This is the journey, which is why I was always fearless. Because if this was supposed to be the journey, what should I be afraid of? Nothing. So I didn't. Happy accidents maybe. It was
subconscious choices.
But like meant to be for sure.
Meant to be for sure, because I think the kind of films that you have also done, when I was going through a few interviews of yours, what I absolutely was amazed by is that while you're very passionate about the art, you're equally sort of, you keep a distance with the magnanimity that it comes with. For example, like, it could be a Mani Ratnam directorial, but the fact that you are more focused on the character that is coming your way and the overall story versus who the director is, it is definitely a big plus. But that's not the focus for you. And this is just one of the examples I'm giving. Do you think that has kind of helped you stand tall and take a strong foothold within the industry, where people know that if Nithya has to say yes to a project, it is not because a particular director is directing it. It is only if the script has something for her.
Yeah, that's right. I was never starstruck right from the beginning. I didn't feel very like, oh my God, this person is amazing and that, and so I'll do anything or something. I never felt like that. I never felt starstruck. I always appreciated artistry in people. I appreciated when they were good human beings. I think I appreciated them way more.
Yeah.
I would do anything for people like that. Like, I'll do a film for free if I really like the person. And I have done it many times before. So if I like someone, they can, if they're good human beings, that for me rates very high. I appreciate, like Mani sir, like, there is no equal to Mani sir for me, because that's the kind of stuff he has done starting from the beginning. Those are things that created history. So those are things you respect a lot. But it's never about, people, or like, it was never that. That keeps you balanced and, able to make balanced decisions. And it helps when people know that.
True.
And so they know how to treat you as well.
Absolutely. But, again, like you mentioned, you have never really tried to fit into a box when most people in the industry, especially with women, that happens a lot more. Because there's, at least now it's changing, but at the time when all of you all debuted, I think there was only one-dimensional way of looking at women.
Yeah.
Did it ever happen to you, Nithya, where you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do this film, but it's going to be a blockbuster? Because, you kind of have that sense, maybe because of the director or the masala element that it has. Have you ever faced that dilemma wherein should I not? And if yes, how did you deal with it?
The thing is, like, because I didn't want a blockbuster. Like, that's not what I wanted. I don't know how to explain it. I actually don't understand people who want it. Like, I don't get it. Like, why would you just want that? Or so it's not something that looked attractive to me. That I'm like, wow, I want this. So again, it comes back to what did I want? Why were my choices so different? Because those were the things I wanted. What I wanted was that every day must be valuable, that I have to do something, impactful with my life.
True.
Every day I have to do something. That was more. So spending 20 days or 30 days, doing something that I didn't feel alive with, that felt like torture. Like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do this, like that.
Yeah.
So it was never a dilemma. Never. It was crystal clear in my head.
Has it ever worked against you though? Because we have heard stories of actors when they have tried to make a choice and a path for their own self. It's never easy. It comes with its own hurdle.
Yeah. As in, you'll get sometimes like wrong reputations is so arrogant. Oh my God, they said no to this and all of that. But like I've said before, you just have to be patient when you're actually taking the right choice. And the right path is your right path. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For me, what is the right road? Everyone has a different road.
True.
You can't take my road, I can't take yours. So what is the right path for you? If you're taking it, you need to be patient. If it's something that others don't do, you have to be patient. You have to little bit, take the rubbish like all thrown at you, and you have to kind of be patient and know what I'm doing is correct, what I'm doing is right for me, and in time it'll be applauded. Suddenly they say, wow, what an amazing thing, and tell us about your journey and everything. So it'll happen if you're following your your right
The sense that I can sense, like, when I'm even sitting and talking to you, is that you're very calm and composed, and you let things process before taking any, like, you're not impulsive when it comes to that. But from whatever I've read also about you, you're a very spontaneous actor, or he said. How does that work? Yeah, because I'm doing so like composed in front of the camera, like, I can see that you such a clear mind, but spontaneity also means that you're always on your toe and like adapting quite easily to anything that is happening on set. How does that work for you?
I think, it's easy when you're a heart person and you're not a mind person. So I'm very natural. Like, I'm never afraid to, be myself. So I'm not thinking. So that's where the spontaneity comes from. Whatever I am, I'm okay with it. And I'm okay to show you also that this is me. So, that's where the impulsiveness or the spontaneity comes.
Because I think also, a lot of people do that only to fit in.
That's right.
Because there are people and advisors around who would say that, listen, maybe if you dress in a certain way, if you have this perception, maybe things will change for you. Were you ever told all of these things at all?
Was I told? Of course. Everyone gets told. I was told. There was always a problem with my hair. There was a problem. When I initially started my first Telugu film, they said, what is this hair? It's so weird. Like, at that time, today curly hair is like, wow, everybody wants it, right? At that time, it was not like that. And I was, anything people say, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too your hair is too big, your eyebrows were too big and all of that. But I had no choice. I could not be anything other than me. Yeah. I couldn't do it. I'm saying it comes from inside. That how can I do that? How can I be something else? I can't. This is it. If you want this, then here it is. If you don't want it, it's fine by me.
Many other.
I don't mind. I'll do my thing. It was like that. So, do you get, criticized for things which you have nothing to do? For example, your physical appearance is something that, how can you criticize someone for their physical appearance? It's not something that they did. It's not something that they have made happen.
Yeah.
That is so low level kind of thinking.
Yeah.
But people do it, and does it affect you? Yes, of course it affects you. If you have a heart and if you have emotions, it does affect you. but it must affect you, because when it does affect you, then you slowly start to process it and you start growing.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, if you're being challenged, you believe that you are lucky and you're blessed.
Yeah.
That you, no problem, as much as challenges as comes your way, you take it and you turn it around and you become a better person and you become calmer. I was not always this calm. Like today, I feel very still inside always. I was not like that. Like I was there as a younger, when I started off, it's too much energy and like, all over the place. But it comes because of all this thrown at you, and you take the garbage and you process it, and then you shine like a diamond.
You do. You do shine like a diamond, because I was talking to a friend and she told me, I was asking her that, if you could ask something to Nithya, what would that be? And she said that how does she manage to remain this natural in every project that she's doing? By natural, what she means is that there are elements, you would meet those characters in real life as well.
Yeah.
It's not a character which is so larger than life that it can only exist on celluloid.
Yeah.
These are women that you would perhaps meet in real life. She dresses like women who would naturally dress like that in real life. Now, I want to understand if this is something that has been a conscious choice.
It is.
That I want to play characters which are close to where people can say that, okay, I can.
It's not like that. Like any character that you get, I think in terms of the film. So I have a natural liking towards being real, like, and being true. Like, you won't see my nails very done up and all of that. Like, it's not. It's just naturally I prefer it like this because it's better for my health. So I prefer that.
And also no extra baggage of like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Too much effort.
Yeah.
So when I do a character, I think like the last film I was doing, I'm doing a film that Dhanush is directing called Etli Kade. The kind of character it is, I looked at my nails and I had bitten them nicely. So it was like very ugly. And I looked at it and I said, no, it has to remain like this.
Yeah.
Because that's the character. So I leave it like that. Because I think in terms of the film and how can I make this as believable and as real as possible. So I may not wax my hands or I'll not do my eyebrows. I do things like that. I choose how to leave my nails and these kind of things. These effort I do from my side, and they may not even at first glance notice it, but those little things make it very real.
True.
So the point is not for me to look like the most beautiful person on earth. The point is that I'm an artist who's a part of a film, and I'm like a peg in the film, and I'll do my stuff to make that film as authentic as possible.
Can you explain me the process of you as an actor? Because in another interview, I saw that you mentioned that, you're not afraid to helm a film, in the sense, take the film, lead a film single-handedly as well, because that, in fact, gives you a lot more scope to just weave the story and have a lot more control over the narrative in that sense. Versus when you are a part of a project which has cliched, as it may sound, but the A-listers of the industry. For example, like Pranam, like where you are literally there single-handedly doing everything, right? How does that process differ?
The only difference is I have more fun and I have a little less fun. But I give the same amount to everything, and I don't know how to do differently, So I give the same amount of myself, the same effort.
Yeah,
I do all of that. But it's a bit more natural when things are a little more indie, and I like it when it's a little more low-key, little more indie, little more smaller budget.
Yeah.
And becomes very real. I like when actors don't run to the caravan all the time. Like, I love it when we all just sit around and talk and all of that. So it becomes more life. Life is different. That's
True.
It's not all about a film. Even when you're on a film, like I always think, out of 365 days, 300 days, I'm on a film set. So isn't that life?
True.
So that, like experience is more important how am I experiencing today my life? So I want to experience with good people. I want to talk to people, not like isolate myself, all the time. Or so.
But people also say that some things change in you only when you have sort of not been in a place where you were given that comfort. For example, like when you mentioned that you want to be able to speak to everyone on a set and feel like a family.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can say to that extent. Has it ever happened where you have felt isolated on a set? It happens all the time.
Like in the beginning, because there was so much conflict in me because I didn't want to be an actor. I didn't enjoy it at all because everything that makes you, which is a part of filmmaking, I disliked it. I disliked attention. I disliked people recognizing me. I wanted to take walks. Like those were very important to me. People don't believe when you say that, oh, how can you not want, fame and, when you get it, you say all these things and all that. But it's not true. Those were important things to me that I could just be anonymous. I don't like lights. I don't like too much crowd. I don't like noise. So it was all opposite of what I could do. I could handle. So I was miserable. So, sometimes being in the caravan felt like a jail to me. I felt like, why am I in this prison? And then I realized the prison is in the head.
True.
So as I evolved and as I grew, I became happier. And then I realized part of being alive is relationships. It's about people. It's about being able to talk. It's about exchanging with people. That is life. That's it. At the end of this life, when we are on our deathbed, that is what will feel like something we did. Out of nothing else. You can have many trophies and many things, but it'll mean nothing. It's the experiences that mean something. So I try to now have that as much as possible.
I'm so glad because when I'm talking to you, it feels like I'm talking to someone who understands life, or at least is trying to understand life on a very deeper level.
Trying to, I think, on the way.
We are always
Why absolutely
in terms of understanding life. Something very funny I had read, that you are such a good dancer, but you made sure that everyone around sort of thought that you're not, because you did not want to be looked at as that one person who can only dance in a film.
No, it's not like that. I was always dancing in school and college. I was known as so I was always in front and, I used to dance and everything. But when I came to films, I didn't like the way the dance was. I didn't enjoy, I generally don't enjoy things that are not rooted in art.
Correct.
So if it's an art form and it's skill and it's beautiful and feminine, I like it. And I would have done it. But in films, it was not like that. It was very different. And I didn't enjoy it. I felt like it was a bit crass for my liking.
Yeah.
So I observed this and I thought, what can I do? I have to avoid this. How can I avoid it? I can't say to someone, this I'm not liking, don't make me do this and all that. Because they'll take it wrongly and they'll get offended. So I said, I can't dance so good. Like this step and all I can't do. Give me something easy to do and all that. Okay, fine. Then we'll give you face. Face. Yeah. Put it on my face. I'll do some cute extra. So then it started becoming like that. Oh, Nithya Menen. Oh, okay, expressions. She doesn't dance much. So I said, good. Okay, this is working for me. Give her simple things. So I didn't have to do too much jhatkas and matkas and all that. So, because I personally, I don't know, I somehow didn't like it.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked in my favor. So now everyone thinks she doesn't dance, much.
I think now you're giving it away. Now people will be like, no, we know you dance, huh? So we will try to
now after Thiruchitrabalam, they all she dances because that song, the road song.
Must be, everyone would be like, huh?
Yeah. Then they were like, okay, so she can dance, but dance is also something which, as you get older, you need to be free with your body, and I haven't done it for so long. So it's not like I have the confidence anymore to dance.
So this is a new way of saying that I will still not be doing it. Because now that people have seen you dance, they'll come to you for sure. You'll be like, yeah, let's do dancing.
You're too smart.
I think very nice.
I think only someone like Dhanush, I was telling him, like, only you can make me do. He didn't even listen to me. It's like, come, let's do it. I was like, no. Then I saw the dance, but he also really understands what kind of a dancer I am. So you can see that in the choreography.
Yeah.
And that it's so me. Like, it. At no point do I look like I don't belong doing your steps.
Yeah.
So that also is the, talent of a choreographer or, co-actor, whoever.
Yeah.
To sort of make it right to you. That's the thing that I couldn't see in the beginning, which is why I was, opposing it a little, because you're giving me something which is not me. Right? Like, which I can't do. Maybe another dancer or an actor will do it brilliantly.
And you need to be comfortable, especially.
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit tailor-made to the person. You can't just make anyone do anything. It'll look crass and it'll look ugly.
No, but someone like Dhanush, because he's also known you for that long, I think that helps, that he knows that, okay, if Nithya has to do something, it should be worth the effort that she's putting in.
Yeah.
I have to, obviously, I don't have too much time, but I told you before the interview, Bangalore days was my introduction to Southern cinema in general. And I remember not seeing women play characters, at least in a love story, because I had predominantly watched Hindi cinema back then. So I was used to seeing women in a certain way. Even with Ustad Hotel, for me, it was like, oh my God, like this is different. Then with Awe, you did, like, you were probably one of the first in the industry to play a lot.
I didn't know that. I got to know it later and I said, oh my God, that's so nice.
I feel like these are all very distinct choices for someone who is well revered in the industry, who is not just limited to indie cinema, as you may call it, but also done commercial pot boilers and been equally successful in that as well. I just want to understand, how does that transition for you happen? Because like you said,
people think that it's a lot of thinking and deliberating or like strategizing and planning. How did you plan your career to come? You can't do that. You can't. At least I have not done that. I don't overthink. So it's very impulsive, actually. So I hear it and, okay, done. And sometimes I can see nowadays that they're shocked, like when I hear something and I say, okay, I'll do it. That's it? You don't want to hear the, like, no, I'll do it. I'm good. So it's that impulsive how I say yes to something. So you are impulsive.
I'm very
you
impulsive.
are human. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, she's so good.
I'm very intuitive. So it's a feeling I get. I want to do this. It's a feeling. It's many things, and it's not the mind. So it's other things which are telling me, do this. So I just do it. And I never think, how is this going to impact me? How is this going to make me look?
Yeah.
What am I going to get from this? It's never about taking from cinema. It's always giving to cinema. It's always about giving, contributing something.
Yeah.
How can I contribute to this,
Yeah. When you decided, it took you almost like 15 years, if I'm not wrong, to sign your first Hindi film here. And that also, I think, was a very smart choice, in the sense that you have never been someone who is looking for a main character role any which way. You want a character which suits and which tells a story in a larger way, right? Like Mission Mangal was the perfect thing. But how? I want to understand.
Because I tell you, Jagan, the director, is a Kannadiga. So he reached out to me and he spoke to me in Kannada. And and then I said, oh, you're a Kannadiga. Oh, okay. So this is the film. It's about ISRO. And then my aunt works in ISRO. So I was like, oh, ISRO. Yeah, my aunt works in ISRO. It's in Bangalore, right? ISRO is in Bangalore. Yeah. So we are doing this and you're going to be playing a Kannadiga character. That made me very excited. And later it was, of course, changed to Varsha Pillai, which was Tamil. But initially she was supposed to be a Kannadiga from Bangalore.
Oh, okay.
So that made me very excited. And then all of these people are going to be there. And then I said, that sounds nice. So all of it, like Vidya was going to be there.
Yeah.
Akshay sir, all these girls and everything. And this is how. So I thought about it. This whole setup feels very nice.
Yeah.
Like I get to play a scientist.
Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, that's different. I get to play a scientist. I said, okay, I'll do it. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. There's no thinking.
I love, that's why I think I've made the right introduction.
So it's always different things that I look at. Sometimes it's all different things. Like something gets me excited. I'll do a film because they say we are shooting somewhere in some nice place. Like we're shooting in Scotland. Acha, I'll do it. Because I'll go to Scotland. So if people think that, oh, she's doing some major work, like deliberating a film. No. You'll be disappointed if you hear how I make my choice.
No, but everything has worked out for you. And
that credit goes to
true.
Like someone up there, the Almighty.
But I also, the reason why I had started with Bangalore Days and then I digressed because you said something beautiful. But, with Bangalore Days, I feel everyone says it's a love letter to the city. Like, we Mumbaikars have that as well. Was that one of the reasons? Because I think a lot of people still have this thing, because even I had it when I was trying to look at where does Nithya really belong from? Is it, is she from Kerala? Is she from, because Karnataka as well, so maybe some part, I don't know where.
So, Bangalore, I don't think people understand my love for Bangalore, because it's my home and it's a very different, I think maybe the people where it comes close is maybe Mumbai. People in Bombay may understand.
That's why I know.
Yeah, they understand it because there are people from many places that come and pool into certain cities. And only few cities. Bombay and Bangalore are two cities where that happens.
True.
So the only Bangaloreans will understand what I'm saying when we say this is our home. And so I don't know why and where it comes from that everybody says that I'm from Kerala and all that. I'm not. I went to Cochin when I was 20 years old and I went to shoot. So for me, Cochin was as new a city as for you or anything.
Absolutely.
Like I would have, wow, this is Cochin. Oh, nice. How nice. Like, oh, look at the water and all of that. So that's me. So when people keep saying, Kerala mein to, they do this, na, to me, it's a huge identity crisis. So I have struggled with this identity crisis all my life. And they always write my name as Menon. And that's never been my name. It is actually my family's surname, but I've never used it. None of us have ever used a surname or a caste name or anything. So I've always felt this, I always feel this is a wrong name, and, I always correct people, but they never listen. Nobody ever listens. But but my love for Bangalore is very deep and very strong. Since we are young, as children, I've studied Kannada in my school.
Yeah.
So imagine from that age studying a language, how can that not be the language that you feel love towards,
Absolutely.
Right? That people won't understand who have lived in one state with one language. They won't get it. But what feels like home is where your parents are born and where you are born.
True.
My parents were also born there. My parents also studied Kannada. So we speak Kannada and everything very fluently. So I always say, since childhood, when we filling up something, they'll say state Karnataka, I've written as a child. So we used to have these Kannada Rajotsava. We used to do these dances for Kannada Rajotsava and all. So that's home to me.
Yeah.
And
it'll always
be. So Malayalam is my mother tongue. So that has a different space. But, home will always be Bangalore. And if anyone was born in Bangalore, the Bangalore that was there in the 90s was an extraordinary place. I think
it still is.
Yeah,
in its own way.
It still is better than most cities, but
I thought we are going to start this debate about Mumbai versus Bengaluru.
So everyone feels like that, right? Wherever they are from, they feel there's nothing better than this.
Absolutely, because I was just going to say, Nithya, I love you, but Mumbai is better. Because that's how I feel about Bombay, you know. It's home for me. Yeah.
I respect that. Because I get it. I understand.
But obviously, thank you for your time so much. I want to end with asking for someone. I remember during OK Kadal Kanmani, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. You played a character which was cynical about love, and you said that you are also someone like that, and you continue to be. Has that changed at all? Are you at least now willing to give love a chance at all, ever? Or are you still cynical? Because I understand that emotion.
Oh, it's not that I didn't give love a chance. I always did. But it's not like that. Of course I want someone, in my life and everything. But I don't believe in a cliched sort of way of going through life. Now it's time to find love and I have to get married, then I have to do this. And so I don't believe in that. I'm very flexible. It can come at any time. It can come at 50 and I'm happy with that. And although I'm growing so much as a person that today that search is becoming more refined. It's not that I'll go and jump at anything or like I'm desperate to find love. Then you do all the wrong things when you feel like that. But now the search is refined and, only something that's deserving will probably come into my life. And I'm not looking for that. I realize that life is many things. We always connect it to getting hitched, getting settled down. That's like it's a big
thing. It's a milestone.
Yeah. And it's also like as if it's without that something is missing.
Yeah.
But it's not true. There are a lot of people who have done great things in life.
Yeah. I want to say that I started off by saying that her journey has been something which has been a mixture or at least a result of a lot of happy accidents, and I maintain that because I feel that someone as simple, as rooted and as natural and as her has been able to achieve what she has only because of faith in, like she says, and I think and her immense talent for sure. Thank you so much, Nithya, for giving me your time. I think I came in as an admirer and I'm leaving as a fan.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's an achievement.